Hello everyone, if you don't know me, my name is Ryan, and in this video we're going to be making this little crochet wristwatch, bracelet, whatever you want to call it. And this is a beginner friendly project, and it only took me about 30 minutes to finish actually, so you could definitely finish one in a day as an easy gift or easy accessory. For this project, we're going to use 3 different colors of worsted weight yarn and a 3.25mm crochet hook. And to start off our project, we're going to start with a magic loop, and we're going to put 6 single crochet in our magic loop. For our first increase round, we're going to increase 6 times, leaving us with a total of 12 stitches. Next, we're just going to single crochet 1 and then increase, and we're going to do that 6 times for a total of 18 stitches. For our final increase round, we're going to do it a little bit differently. We're going to single crochet 1 and then do an increase, and then after that we're going to do the next normal round, which is single crochet 2 increase. We're going to do that 5 times, and then at the end of this round there's going to be one last stitch which we're just going to single crochet into, and we'll have 24 stitches. The reason this round is a little bit different is it just makes it more of a circle shape instead of a hexagon, which we don't want for a watch. At the end of that round, you're going to pull up a loop in the last stitch, cut your yarn, and now we're going to change colors to our first contrast color. and we're going to finish that last single crochet of the last round. And now we're going to do one round of slip stitches, so just slip stitching in every one of the 24 stitches around. When you come to the end, just cut your yarn, and I'm going to do a bit of like a invisible ending here. So you just thread the end on a tapestry needle, and then you go front to back in the stitch on the left, and then front to back through the back loop of the last stitch that you just pulled out of, and that makes sort of a fake stitch, so you get a perfect circle. Mine didn't turn out that great, and I redid this because I tightened that last stitch too much, but it should look fairly perfect. And now we're going to do the little embroidery on the watch face. This can be messy because you're not going to see anything on the back, so I just went through some stitches trying to get to the center, and then I pulled out of the center. And then I pulled out of the center here, and I just made my first watch hand. I just made them the same length, even though on a watch one would be shorter, but it didn't really matter to me. And I just made them at a 90-degree angle, so I made the first line, and then I just went through some more stitches because I didn't want one big loop on the back, just because I thought this looked a bit neater. So went through some stitches on the back, went back through the center stitch, or magic loop basically, and then made another line of the same length going out 90 degrees, making an L. And then once I did that, I just wove in all these ends on the back and made sure that they were all hidden. And then next, to make our wrist strap, we're using our third contrast color and the same hook, and you're going to chain 4, and then you're going to single crochet 3. And I chose to single crochet in the back ridges of the chain just for a cleaner look. Then at the end of the first row, you're going to chain up 1 and turn, and this is going to be our increase row. You're going to single crochet 1, and then single crochet 3 in the middle stitch. So 1, 2, and 1 more for a triple increase, and then you're going to single crochet in the last stitch, and that goes from 3 to 5. Now you're at your full stitch length, so you're just going to keep single crocheting until your strap is long enough, and you have to think about the overlap. You're going to need a little bit extra for the snaps, so just a little bit extra. And then when you're at the end of your strap, we're just going to decrease back down by single crocheting 3, doing a triple decrease, or sorry, single crocheting 1, doing a triple decrease, and then single crocheting 1 again for a total of 3, then single crocheting 3, and you're done. Now that our strap is done, we're going to sew on our snaps. You technically could use something else. You could use Velcro, you could use hook and eye, you could do a button if you wanted to do a buttonhole, but I already had these snaps and it's actually really convenient if you can do it right. So just make sure you're sewing it on in the right directions, because I don't know, I always have a hard time with snaps. I don't know why, but I've sewed it on wrong like twice before I did it correctly. So I'm just using a tapestry needle and the same yarn as color C, so the pink. You don't need thread, I'm just using yarn, and my tapestry needle was pretty thick and it still fit through the holes of the snap, so it worked for me. And because I want the back to look a little bit cleaner, I'm going through a stitch on the back side so that I don't leave a long tail in between each hole on the snap, if that makes sense. Even though it's the same color, you won't really see it that much, but I just wanted it to look a little bit better. And so yeah, sewing on a snap is actually really easy. You just go in the hole and then choose a stitch right outside that hole and do that all the way around. It's even easier than a button. And then once you're done sewing in your snap, just weave in both of these ends on the side of the snap, because that's the side you're not going to see, so technically it's the wrong side. Yeah, just weave in your end and then cut it. And then when sewing on the other side of the snap, make sure the snap is in the right direction, like I said, but also make sure that the strap is in the right direction. And I just went ahead and snapped it real quick just to make sure I was doing it in the right direction, because for some reason this is a problem of mine. So boom, there we go, it worked. So I know that it needs to be in this direction, and I know it needs to be on this side of the strap, which is the opposite side that the other one is on, so that they overlap. And then our final step is just attaching the watch face to the wrist strap, and I just decided to use hot glue for this because it was the easiest thing, and this is acrylic and I'm not going to wash it anyway. So that worked for me. So I'm just using super glue. You could use fabric glue, or you could hand sew it on if you really wanted to. So I'm just adding a couple lines of glue and pressing it in so that it all bonds together. And I made sure to unsnap it once I was sure that it was in the middle where I wanted it, because you don't want the glue seeping through the stitches and accidentally gluing your entire strap together. So yeah, it dried in like 10 seconds, and now that'll never come off. As long as you don't like put it in the washer, you're golden. and then I just snapped it, put it on my wrist, and I'll show you the other version that I made. This was the second one, and as you can see, the yellow one is a little bit bigger just because that yarn was a tiny bit thicker. So you can play around with different yarns if you want. If you use DK, it could be even smaller. Yeah, very versatile. You can kind of do whatever you want. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know it was a quick one. I just felt the need to make it because I thought it was so cute, and some of you guys voted for it on my story. So thank you for watching. If you want a written version of the pattern, it's going to be on my Patreon. I might also put it on my Etsy. I'm not quite sure yet. This might be Patreon exclusive. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to like this video, and tell me what I should make next in the comments down below. Bye!